that you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Okay, what's up guys? This is Subtle Roy, and I'm just going to do a quick discussion about ADC Itemization. I'm going to dinner, so I might have to cut this a little bit short. So basically, all ADCs itemize extremely similarly, with slight differences. The starting items are generally what you're looking at right now. You have the Doran's Blade, 2 health pots, which is the standard start. If you're playing against a hook support and you just don't feel comfortable in the matchup, you could try starting boots, and I think it's 4 health pots is how many you can buy if you start boots. It's really solid. It makes you a little less vulnerable in the early game. I don't really recommend it, but it's a start that you can go if you're playing against a Blitzcrank or Thresh and it's just not your favorite matchup. I don't like starting that though, so just saying, it's just hide behind the minions. You can also start a longsword if you're trying to rush a specific item, like if you're rushing a Brutalizer. Longsword start is really, really good. And your 2 trinket starts are... I don't really recommend starting the red trinket as an AD carry, just because you want the vision early game. Denying vision is great, but having no vision while denying vision is super dangerous, because you're just walking out into brushes and you have no idea what's there. You could be like face checking into the enemy jungler and that would suck. Okay, so first back, boots. Boots, boots, boots. Buy boots if you can. Buy a longsword. If you're super wealthy, try to buy something more expensive like an Avarice Blade or a Vampiric Scepter. Is that what the name of that thing is? Always buy health pots. Buy health pots every back. It doesn't matter if you have lifesteal. Buy health pots anyway. They help during trades. They also help you survive dots and like Ignite. The number of times you'll get saved by a health pot is ridiculous. Buy pink wards. Try to keep your tri-brush pinked at all times if you're on, what is it, red side now? Or blue side? I have no idea. But buy pink wards anyway. Keep your tri-brush pinked. Or your side of the river pinked. Buy green wards because you want to keep the lane brushes warded. It's not just the support's job to ward, you buy wards too. Don't buy a shit ton and then end up poor and fall behind the enemy ADC, but buy enough so that way the support doesn't feel like they're overburdened. And the first item, these are the most common first items for ADCs. There are others, but these are the ones that I'm going to talk about. So if you start Infinity Edge or Bork, basically what you just did was you purchased an auto attack modifier. Infinity Edge gives you increased crit damage, right? And Blade of the Rune King gives you % health damage on every auto. So what do you want to do but build more attack speed or more crit? So all of these items give either attack speed or crit or something along. I mean, Youmuu's does a bit of everything, but that's why it's such a good item, is because it's the jack of all trades item, you know? So these two, Phantom Dancer and Static Shiv, are your 2 bread and butter second item AD carry path. And then Youmuu's is kind of a little bit more new school. Infinity Edge Youmuu's is sort of the ADC caster route that a lot of people go on Draven and Graves, just because it makes you hit like a bus in the laning phase. Okay, if you start a Triforce or a Youmuu's, basically you're going for lane dominance and mid game, and there's a build popularized by, I think it was Deft, it might have been Deft, where you go Triforce straight into the new Bloodthirster, and what it basically does is it makes you a sieging machine, because you just heal up. No matter how much poke they throw at you while you're sieging, you just keep healing, and the Triforce procs are going to take down the turrets super fast. So that's why you'd go Triforce Bloodthirster if you chose to go that. And then you could go Triforce Infinity Edge just for the increased crit damage. I really like Triforce Infinity Edge. I think it's a fun build. Triforce Last Whisper is also really good if they're building tanky or if you just want to do more damage with the Triforce procs. And Triforce Essence Reaver, which is this last item over here. I know you can't see the little drop down menu, sorry about that. Okay, now for your third item, what you generally want to do is buy a Last Whisper if you don't have it at this point. Last Whisper is the largest damage increase that you will get as an AD carry. It's, especially against tanks, it's such a stat increase because it ignores like 35% of armor? Yeah. So it's an amazing item. And if they're not building armor, just go ahead and build a Bloodthirster because it helps you snowball further. Bloodthirster in its current state is actually pretty broken because 20% lifesteal is ridiculously gold efficient, and the shield is super annoying to play against if they get even a little bit of armor or magic resist. And then the rest are just defensive items. You have Quicksilver Sash, which is just the be-all, end-all of cheap defensive items. It removes CC, it removes debuffs, it makes Zed's day sad. But Quicksilver Sash doesn't really help you if you're just being chain CC'd. You're better off going for like a Guardian Angel in that case. Or if you're trying to block one specific spell, like say Ari Charm, Banshee's Veil is probably your best bet, because even if you do QSS and Ari Charm, by then you're probably in not such a good place anyway. And this is basically the highest DPS build in the game. Unless you sold your boots and bought a Zephyr, that would probably be the highest DPS build in the game. And it consists of Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, which would put you at somewhere like 55% crit, and the rest of your builds. So this, if you don't know what to build on any ADC, you can always build this and do damage. You will do tons of damage. No freak, please. And then after that, we have the full Siege build. The reason I call this the Siege build is because you rush the Trinity Force Bloodthirster, Korean style, and then go for the Last Whisper, Infinity Edge, and whatever defensive item with boots. This is really, really good if you're playing a Siege comp. I know Siege comps don't really exist in lower elo. They don't really exist in higher elo either, but as you get better at the game, you'll start seeing why Siege comps are so good, because you never have to hit the enemy team to win in a Siege comp, and it's super satisfying to be part of one. Okay, this is the full build Youmuu's. It's basically subbing out the attack speed item for Youmuu's. It's very similar to the other ones, and I like to go Merc Scimitar on this build because usually I go this on AD casters like Draven, and so the extra AD for Merc Scimitar is really, really nice. So you have like 3 items that give 80 AD, which is ridiculous. Okay, this is the full build Bork. So the reason Bork and Youmuu's go together so well is because they make you effectively an assassin no matter who you're playing as an AD carry. Turns Lucian into an assassin, turns Vayne into an even scarier assassin. It makes Twitch good at just roaming the map and ganking, because that's pretty much all, you know, the Korean OGN ADCs did for a season and a half. So it's a really annoying combination. It's really strong. It's not so much fun to play against, but that's why I'm talking about it. So if you want to play an assassin style AD carry, this is your build. These items. You go Bork straight into the Youmuu's Last Whisper, Infinity Edge, defensive item, boots. Okay, I call this the money-making build because it starts with the Avarice Blade from Static Shiv. So if you're just going to farm in lane, all you need to do is buy the Avarice Blade and just farm. Just play super safe, farm, get your items, and then crush the mid and late game. And that's basically if you're playing like Jinx, Tristana, anyone who has like a slightly weak laning phase that can be exploited and just needs to farm. Kog'Maw, well, you wouldn't go this build on Kog'Maw to be honest, but you get the idea. This is a build for farming. Ashe would probably go this build. Jinx would probably go this build. Anyone who just can't depend on their laning phase to get fed and needs to play safe. And the last build I want to talk about is Blue Ezreal. So other people besides Ezreal can go this build. Like, this build would work perfectly fine on Draven. In fact, I should probably try this build out on Draven just to see how much fun it is. But it's a lot of CC because of the Iceborne Gauntlets. It's a lot of armor shred because of the Black Cleaver. It's a very utility-focused build, and it doesn't really start doing damage until you hit full build. So I can't really recommend it on anyone but Ezreal, but it's just a fun-ass build. It's really fun to play. Instead of Essence Reaver, Doublelift likes to go Bloodthirster, which I can see as good, but then you don't hit the CDR cap, and I'm like really numbers intensive. So that's my version of the build, and it works really, really well for me. And that's all for now. I think I might do a discussion on ADC runes next. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.